So, hi everybody. My name is Sitraka Forler, and I work at Luxembourg, as you can have guessed. I work as a system architect and AI ops because we're trying to improve our AI with all our ops for DevOps and all. And today I'm going to talk with you shortly about data. So, how data quality is key, as you all know, I guess, technical people or not. And it helps to take better decisions and to produce more. So what's now in software development? What is the market growth? This is just a slide about context. I think you all know this company, which is Google. And I think that I can try to ask you, so in this room, who is a dev or tech? Can you raise your hand, please? Okay, perfect. So Voxxed really did well because it's a technical day. And who for work and coding, and not just for personal projects, have used Gen AI, so LLMs like Cursors, GitHub Copilot. So okay, most of you. Congrats, you are doing like the best, aka Google. So they are proud because they made some tests and they studied their developers. And as you may see, traditional dev is time-consuming and costly. And they shown in the studies that 21% faster coders use Gen AI. So they asked two different teams in different places about to code the same feature, and the team with just their hands and brains took a little bit more time. They are still great devs, so it's 114 minutes for the non-Gen AI and 96 minutes for the Gen AI users. Because it's a short talk, I will repeat myself about what Gen AI can help you, and I think you all agree with it. It helps you on three points, 3S, on scope, on speed, and on soundness. Soundness is the quality of code. I think that if you try to remember when you were coding, you liked it, but you had to iterate also more, and it took you more time and more energy. And now even for your personal project, it's just vibe coding, so the scope is large, but it's shitty. So at work, it's more about soundness. It is a quality, the data quality. And why are those images? As you can see, there are cardboards because it was the beginning of the internet. Because software devs, informaticians, they use that. And now we are using IDEs, as you can see. And I think some of you might have recognized it. This is from a famous company called Cursor, which was acquired recently. So when I say it increased speed, soundness, and scope, I'm not saying that out of a hat, out of the box. It increased speed because before you had a lot of time to debug, a lot of time to test by yourself. Now with Copilot, you have auto-generation, and as the keynote speaker said it this morning, one of the things you hate to do as devs is run test and unit test. And now with Gen AI, you can have way more test validation. It will also help you to spot bottlenecks. We are doing AI ops, so this helps also us for our infra, our networks, and on the cloud. It increased the scope, which means that for work, each one of you, before you had some Kanbans or Scrum or whatever, and you had some features. And now with Gen AI, it's proven that the number of features that are asked is higher because you produce way more, because you can now do it. And also the big difference between your work and just vibe coding is that security. Thanks to Gen AI, you will increase your security and all the scope. So now, and I think I could also ask you, but I think you will all agree with that, is that you don't need anymore to memorize every exact sentence and syntax. You don't need to know exactly the pointer where it is, because now with GitHub Copilot, it will ask you like, hey, don't you need a pointer here? And you will say, oh, yes, because Copilot still needs to be seen as a junior dev, and you guys are the lead devs now, each one of you. But you still need to understand about AI tools. You still need to know about data structures and the algorithms, because it's just like a calculator. You are better with a calculator if you know to do your math than if you just was handed over the calculator. So why AI matters in the modern software engineer? Well, first of all, it's because it's now a shift, sorry. And as you raise your hands, congrats, you belong to those 74% of devs. You use Gen AI. If someone who is a dev tells you that he doesn't use Gen AI, never used ChatGPT, not even for a simple function or anything, he's either lying or a half god or really shitty. Let's be honest. And then also you can see that it's a growing market. It's a growing market because you will produce way more and it will help you to deliver faster. The thing is that, of course, as you can see in the fourth point, enterprise are a little bit slower. So also, with raising your hands, who inside have the GitHub Copilot Pro in his company? Okay, so not that much people. And the slide means that, yeah, in the US, they are a little bit better. Because large companies, most of the time, use it. But it's true that in Europe, it's a little bit less. But still, don't forget the market is growing and that there is a share for Europe and for Luxembourg to take in it. Which is why I encourage every company to use as much as possible in the security point such tools as Cursor, GitHub, or Tab9. But you also have like different competitors. You also have Amazon with Code Whisper. But this is most of the time if you use Amazon Web Services. But sometimes most of you do. And now at Google, it's nearly 25%, which is internal code that is AI generated. AI generated code means also unit test. Most of the times it's unit test because AI is the best at unit test. So also I will speak a little bit about AIOps. Does anyone here know exactly what AIOps means? No, not yet. So AIOps is just like DevOps, but with AI. So it's in order to use AI to monitor it more cleverly. It is to have healing agents. It is in order to perform better handling of errors. So we don't have too much time wasted as humans. It's got a business impact because it will reduce cost, maintenance cost. At Post Telecom, it's really important for us to have high quality, which means less problems for you guys and less and more sleeping hours for the technicians. So it will go faster MTTR through self-diagnosis, and there is a continual learning. So the more data, the more iterations, the better the quality. Meaning that with AIOps, we use such tools as Grafana and Datadogs. I don't know if you guys heard about it or use it. In theory, Grafana is well known. So this means that we have AI-powered observability, and we have real-time metrics, which is always better than nothing. So this is MTTR, but I think you all know it. So we need to have the alerts, the insights, to verify it and to improve it every time. Also, who does quality test for their code here? Do we have some tests here? Test people? Yes, one guy. So maybe, one or two. And maybe, I don't know if you ever used those tools like Kodo, no? And GetPile. So this will help testing teams to reduce vulnerability because it will test with your code. It will also take the inputs of the test leader and the dev team. So the dev team tells a prompt and it will give it to the platform and the platform will already directly test it. So it gives instant feedbacks. This is what we need. Because one of the problems, what do we hate as tech people? We hate useless meetings. We hate it more than anything. Sometimes you are like, oh, this could have been an email. Sorry, PM, I love you, but no, I don't. Sorry. So you just now bypass them and you use greptile, so grep, huh? Just like Linux. Which is a joke, but what? So this helps you, and this also helps you to have data-driven developments. So you have evidence that will be more and more useful. You will not just have a cabin with some people putting post-its randomly and say, oh, we need this. No, now you will have a data mesh, you will have all your data, and you will have, and you will have all the stuff. And, oh, thank God. And you can measure activity and real-time feedback loops. So you will have better prioritization and aligned with the text and the business. So thanks to all those tools, thanks to AI, which is powered thanks to data, good quality data, by the way, you will have more creativity as devs. You will be able to use CRUD boilerplates to let AI generate repetitive tasks. You just don't need to write, well, I hope no one here is doing it, but when you have a script, you call functions, and sometimes Gen AI, if you ask it properly, will generate already those functions files, thanks to Cursor or GitHub Copilot. You have the documentation automation, which is also something that you all love. Who loves to do documentation here? Thank God, no one. And guess what? Now you have tools to do documentation. And you will have self-healing tests. So tools just like test team will adapt the test scripts. So Mintlyfly is a great tool for your documentation, and you can also make it as SaaS or a local device. Oh, sorry for the slide. Yeah, tech, if you want the picture. So now we are going to look forward. We're going to look forward, and what do we have? So a few hours ago, there was a girl who was talking about RAG. I don't know if you were in that room. And some people were speaking about MCPs, so about agents. I think MCP is maybe overhyped right now, but it can still be really useful. Someone asked the question, but it's true, she was more on the RAG part. The main difference between RAG, which is retrieve augmented text, so it's just you give documents. And the MCP has more control and more initiative because it thinks, kind of. So agentic AI systems will help us to have like small teams, each one of us. And we have more and more intelligent platforms, so we enhance team collaboration. And by the way, yes, there is a strategic real-time allocation, so more and more devs have free time to think. That's why it was about creativity. So you all need, I think, to use and adopt those AI tools, because thanks to Gen AI, you have lowering risk entry points. You can start your documentation, linters, and text generators more easily, faster. You need to invest in those skills. You need to learn a little bit why there is this and that, why the AI is speaking like this. Well, why? Most of the time it's because they told you it was Weave8 or ChromaDB. They are vectorial databases, and you need to understand a little bit all of this. It's better to drive a car when you know how it's made. It's the same for coding. It's the same for Gen AI. And it will help you to save time and have fewer bugs. So as tools, I think that as a conclusion, I can give you a pro tips to use more GitHub Copilot, to use Core Rabbit for reviews, and to use TestMins for QA. Because the future is already there with MCPs, and this is Cloud MCP mapping. And as you can see, more and more people claim that MCPs will be like small, not stupid, but small teams of devs that will just need a really high technical PM. And a really high technical PM, it will be you. This is true for Anthropic. This is true for a ton of startups trying to do it and sell it. This is Pathway, a French startup. It's doing nearly the same. And finally, if you need to remember just one thing of all those slides, it is that thanks to Gen AI, you will increase the scope you can do, the speed at which you can do it, and the soundness of the code, the cybersecurity of it. So you need to adopt or play catch-up. AI is a new baseline in software engineering. Don't forget that not so long ago, people were using cardboards, and now we are already using clever, intelligent IDs. Thank you for your attention. Does anyone got any question? Or do we have time for question? I don't know. No. Okay. But still one question maybe? No? Okay, perfect. No. Yes.
No, one more. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it's a pathway.